Hey guys, Mr. Decker here. This is Unit 2 on web development. This is Lesson 4, the mini project on HTML web pages. So the computer science standards we'll be going through with this lesson are decomposing and breaking down problems into smaller manageable subproblems to facilitate the program development process, modify, remix, or incorporate portions of an existing program into one's own work, to develop something new or add more advanced features, and testing and debugging, which means identifying and fixing errors, a program or algorithm to ensure it runs as intended. Our essential question for today is, how can I use HTML to express a personal value? And that's a big deal, right? We can use HTML, we can use programming and computer science to express ourselves. And that's something that's really cool about it, right? Making websites, making video games, making cell phone apps. You can say something to the world or share your creativity with the world using programming, and that's really cool. This entire lesson is on code.org, so make sure you are signed in on code.org with your school Google account. Your grade for this lesson will be based on your programming in the lesson on code.org. Watching the video that you're already watching right now is mandatory, so watch this video as you work your way through the lesson on code.org. Best practice, as always, is to watch me do a step in the video, pause the video, and then complete the step on code.org, repeat until finished. But with this one, this is a mini project where you get to express yourself and use some of the programming language that you have used so far and learned so far. Use your skills to express yourself, right? This is your bag. So when you are watching me create my web page, that is simply, a review, right? Think of it as a review and think of it as like a rubric for what you need to have on your web page. But you'll be adding your own stuff. You'll be making your own web page. So you please do not make the same web page I'm making. Make your own web page. Make your own web page. I repeat, make your own web page. All right. And then, the way I am doing grades has changed. So grades are now showing up in both PowerSchool and in Canvas. And the way that I had to set that up is to set up even these assignments that are completely on code.org as things that you would submit on Canvas. So obviously, all the work is being done on code.org with these lessons, so there's no need to submit anything on this assignment page. All work will be completed on code.org. If you submit things on these pages, I know you either didn't read or didn't listen. Are you hearing me? You either didn't read or you didn't listen. All right, let's get started. Let's go to code.org. I'm already signed in, so it took me directly to my dashboard. But if you are not signed in, you sign up here. Use the red button that says log in with Google. You are 6th grade, so find that. Find web development. It'll take you to this landing page. Get out of the way. And scroll down to lesson 4. So I predict we're going to be using paragraph tags and header tags and possibly list tags, stuff that we have seen and used to make our web pages. So let's go to bubble 1. Bubble 1 says, question of the day, how can I use HTML to express a personal value? We covered that. In this lesson, the class creates personal web pages on the topic of their choice. The lesson starts with a review of HTML tags. Next, the class designs web pages, first identifying the tags needed to implement them, and then creating the web pages in WebLab. So let's jump in. Let's continue on to bubble 2. All right, so lots of practice to do here, so let's jump in. Here are some HTML tags that you may have seen in the past couple of lessons. You can use them to review the tags you might want to use for your web page. So we'll go through each of these. We'll do A through F. But let's go ahead and start with A, paragraphs. The Open and close paragraph tags or paragraph start and end tags are placed around the text to indicate that it is part of a paragraph. Placing text between paragraph start and end tags lets the computer know that it should be treated differently, often just spacing it out from other text. Do this. Use paragraph tags to separate the content into different paragraphs. So we can see down here, and we know what to do. So we can move, and when you see your cursor become a double arrow like that, you can click and hold down and then move that around so it gives you more space to work with. So obviously the person who was working on this web page intended for this web page to have multiple paragraphs. They've got a header up here using the H1 tag, but they need these to be separate paragraphs. So let's start on line 7 here and put in start paragraph and an end paragraph. Separates that out. Down to line 9, let's put in the same thing. Start paragraph, end paragraph. Separates that out. Start paragraph, end paragraph. Separates that out. And then one last time, start paragraph and put a period there and end paragraph. And that's it for that bubble. Let's finish and move on. Let's do B, debugging paragraph tags. Find the bugs caused by incorrect paragraph tags. All right, so use paragraph tags. The start paragraph and end paragraph tags, or paragraph start and end tags, are placed around the text to indicate that it is part of a paragraph. Placing text between paragraph start and end tags lets the computer know it should be treated differently, often just spacing it out from other texts. Fix the code so that none of the tags turn pink. All right. So here we started out with a closed paragraph, and that's not right. And actually, let's get things on the correct lines. I just hit my backspace key until I got line 5 to look like that. Let's put our start paragraph and our end paragraph. And then we'll get rid of these two. We'll get rid of this. I'm just highlighting it and backspacing. And then let's put our start paragraph and end paragraph tags in here. There we go. Looks great. No pink error codes. Finish. Let's move on to bubble C here. Use your debugging skills to figure out why the paragraph has disappeared. Debug the missing paragraph. All right. It looks like the second paragraph is missing. Can you fix the bug? All right. Remember, a bug is simply an error in the code. The code is typed out incorrectly. Do this. Find and fix the problem that is causing the bug. All right. So we've got a problem here. So right here, we can see it needs a greater than symbol on the end of that start paragraph tag. And it needs a greater than symbol here to end that paragraph. And that makes it all show up. Let's take this period out that's right there on line 11. And everything showing up, all the pink code is gone. So we've successfully debugged right there. And I think everything else looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. Finish. And we're on D, debug headings. Fix the bugs caused by incorrect heading tags. All right. There are a few issues with this page's headings. Can you fix them? Do this. Fix all the pink errors. Adjust the heading tags to be the appropriate size if necessary. Okay, so styles of dance, ballet. All right, so b-boying or breakdancing here on this line shouldn't be the same size as styles of dance up there. It should be the same size as ballet and modern dance. And those are H3. Let's fix that one. Line 8 there. H1 tag should be an H1 tag. This B-boy breakdancing should be an H3 tag. It's correct there, but we need to correct it here on the start part of it. And it looks like everything else is correct, so we are done with that bubble. So finish. And add larger heading. Add a large heading to the top of a web page. Okay. Here's a page about animals of the sea. Can you add a catchy large heading and title it? Do this. Add a larger heading at the top of the page. Okay. So above the ocean has a lot of different kinds of animals up here. We need to put an H1 tag for our main header. So H1. And let's see, what would be a good title for this? We can say Creatures of the Sea. And end H1. Oops, forgot my end. End H1. Boom. Beautiful. Now we have our H1 title at the top. Let's finish. And we've got one more to do on line breaks, which we did as, I think it wasn't a practice. I think we learned the line breaks in the header lesson as one of the challenges at the end. So let's jump into this one. It says, separate the lines of the haiku using the break tag, the line break tag. So in some situations, like a poem or a list, you'll want to start a new line inside of the same paragraph, like you might do in poetry. You can use the line break tag for this. Use the line break tip. The line break tag is useful for writing addresses or poems. It does not need a closing tag. Note, use the line break tag to enter line breaks, not to separate paragraphs. Always separate each paragraph with its own set of start paragraph and end paragraph tags. Do this. Separate each line using the break tags. All right. So we've got a title or header up here, H1 tag, haiku interconnection. So the name of the haiku, I'm assuming, is interconnection, right? And then they've got it separated out with this paragraph tag, but we need to put breaks in here. So let's put a break in. And a break in right here on line 10. And now our haiku is 3 lines. So a haiku, if you don't know, here's a English lesson for you. A haiku is supposed to be 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. So let's check them. So scrolling through my phone, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllables. The internet connects us. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 syllables. And then this last line should be 5 syllables again. So for better or worse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllables. So that's a correct haiku. They did a good job. So let's finish. All right. Moving on to bubble 3 here. And it looks like we are going to check out some new tags that will let us add lists to our web pages, learning how to do HTML lists. We're going to do both of these activities because we need to learn how to do both an unordered list and an ordered list. An unordered list just has the bullet points. An ordered list counts the items for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, look at how the given code creates an unordered list. Then create your own list of desserts. do this. Look at how the unordered list and list tags are used to create an unordered list. Use the unordered and list tags to create your own list. Okay. And then you can click here and they'll show you an example of how it works. So you open it up here. So start unordered list, end unordered list, and then each item in your list needs its own start list and end list tags, right? And it'll show up like this. So let's take a look down here. It looks like we've got breakfast foods, cereal, eggs, and waffles. That's in an unordered list, and it looks like that was done correctly. And then we've got desserts with an H2 tag, but it doesn't have a list with it. So let's add some items for this. So what I did there is I just hit my enter key 2 times to create some blank space, some white space between my start unordered list. And then I'm going to enter down, create my first list tag. And what's a good dessert? Cheesecake. I love cheesecake. And then end list. And then if let's see, let's go ahead and create and I hit my back arrow, the arrow that points left, and I'm going to put the end unordered list right there. So now cheesecake shows up. I'm going to put my cursor back up here at the end of line 17 after where I put cheesecake, my first list item. Enter down so I can put another list item. And this time I'm going to put, let's see here, German chocolate cake. End list. Now German chocolate cake shows up correctly over here. Enter down again for line 19. Start list tag. And what's another good dessert? Let's see. Pecan pie. There we go. And you can choose your own desserts. Those are just the desserts that I chose because they're all delicious. All right, finish. We created a really good unordered list. Let's create an ordered list. Use the ordered list tag to create a numbered list. We can do that. All right, ordered lists. An ordered list is like an unordered bulleted list, but it has numbers, just like the ordered list tag instead of the unordered list tag. Do this. Use the ordered list and list tags to structure this content into an ordered list. All right. Let's click here for this hint. Show me an example of working code. So we've got the start ordered list. We've got the end ordered list, and in between it, the list tags with step 1, step 2, step 3, right? So start list, end list, start list, end list, start list, end list, separating each one to create the step 1, step 2, step 3, 1, 2, 3 ordered list. And then on separate lines, to get it started, you've got the start ordered list tag and the end ordered list tag at the end of it. So to get us started, on line 7, let's put in OL for ordered list. And then on line 13 down here, we'll put in end ordered list tag. And then each of these items here on these separate lines from line 8 in the code to line 12 in the code, they need their own start list and end list tags. So let's go ahead and put that in. And you can see over here in the preview area, it shows the website starting to get its structure that we want to give it for this ordered list. And it will automatically count for you. So you don't have to put a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, however long the list is. It does that thinking for you. Computers are smart. Computers are as smart as the person using that computer, right? Because the computer wouldn't know what to do unless you tell it what to do. Or in the case that it's using quantum computing and machine learning, then the computer learns what to do on its own. But that's pretty advanced stuff. So here we are. We've got our ordered list, and it looks great. No pink error codes, looking good. Let's move on. We'll move on to bubble 4. All right, this icon means that this level is part of a larger project. Changes will be saved across these levels. So anytime you see that icon, that means what? That changes are going to be saved across levels. So, do a good job on bubble 4 so that bubble 5 works out for you too. All right, next, you should add the HTML to your page. Do this, add HTML to make the page you sketched in your project guide. Now, obviously, we didn't sketch anything in a project guide. So I'm going to tell you right now what I'd like you to have, and then you'll see what I'd like you to have as well on your page in Canvas. So you'll have a little kind of a rubric typed up on the Canvas assignment page. So I'm going to say I want at least 2 headers of different sizes. And I want you to do at least 2 paragraphs. Separated out. And I want you to do at least 1 ordered or unordered list. So I'm going to make mine here. And I'm going to make mine about video games, right? Video games I loved when I was a kid. Video games I love today, right? Okay, so on line 6, so between the body tags, so I don't type anything up here, here, or here. I leave all of that alone. I don't do anything with this. I don't erase it. I don't backspace it. Just leave it alone. It's there to help you. Don't mess with things that are there to help you. So I'm going to do an H1 tag for my header. I'm just going to say video games I love. So not the best video games, not trying to make an argument or a point, just video games I personally really like. And then that header shows up over here. I'm going to enter down twice. And I'm going to put in a paragraph. I have loved video games since I was a kid in the 80s and got my first NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. I'll type that out. All right, end paragraph. It shows up over there for me. And I'm going to enter down twice. And I'm going to do another header in H3 this time and say list of favorite games. Boop, 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 boop. There, list of favorite games with an H3 start and end tag. Enter down twice. Let's put in our list. I'm going to put it in an unordered list because, you know what? I'm not sure if I have decided what games are the best out of my favorites. So let's make this list. So I'm going to say start list. item. And for this list item, I'm going to say Super Mario World, which was on the Super Nintendo. I'm going to say for my second one, Chrono Trigger, which was also on the end list item. That was also on the Super Nintendo. I'm going to say for this one, I'm just going to make a short list. So let's do, yeah, we've got a platformer game. We've got an RPG. Let's see. We'll say Skyrim. That was a great game. And we'll do one more just for the sake of time here. What other game would be a good one to list here? Let's do a more modern one. I really liked, let's see, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. List. There we go. Specifically 2, right? Okay, and then what were my other rubric things? I said at least 2 headers of different sizes. We've got that. At least 2 paragraphs. We don't have that yet. At least 1 ordered list or unordered list. We've got the list. I'll say down here, these are a few of my favorite games. They are not really in any particular order. Just made a list for you to see. There we go. Here's my second paragraph. So here's my website, right? And so again, you need at least, let's turn the inspector tool on. You need at least 2 headers of different sizes. I've got that. You need at least 2 paragraphs. I've got that. You need at least 1 ordered or unordered list, and I've got that. Finish. Let's go to bubble 5. Bubble 5 says, next, check to make sure your page has everything you want. Check to make sure all the content is there. Check that the HTML tag structures the content correctly. Make sure your code is organized, readable, and free of bugs. Well, it's organized. It's all separated out. So like this is one thing that's important with your code, to make sure that people are seeing what you're doing with the code so that I can see what you're doing with your code. All right. Make sure there's a space between your elements. An element is anything that's in here. So my H1 header is an element. My paragraph is an element. My secondary header, H3 tag, list of favorite games, that's an element. This list down here is an element, and this is an element. So make sure those are separated out with at least 1 line of code between them. That way it's easier on your eyes. It makes sense to you and makes sense to me, right? Makes sure that it's organized, readable, and it's easier to find and correct the bugs when you do it that way. All right, that's it. Finish the lesson. The next thing we're going to do is lesson 5 on digital footprints. Here's a little preview of that. But I hope you've enjoyed this lesson and you've created your own website, making a list of your own things. Again, I repeat that I did not want you to just recreate the website that I made. I want you to make your own website, and I'm going to be looking through what you make and giving you feedback on it. So I hope you do a great job. You'll be getting a grade for this as long as you meet the criteria. You'll make a 100. Thanks, guys.